Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cam's rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. We are continuing to interview the board members for the East Montgomery County Improvement District. We've got several that are up for re-election, a couple that are unopposed, and today I have the pleasure of having Ron Willingham in here with me. He is unopposed, but he's actively running, and I think that's really important. A lot of candidates won't do that. They'll just put their name back in the hat and hope for the best, but these guys are out. They're talking to people, they're campaigning, and it's important. They're taking questions and all that. So appreciate you coming in today, Ron. How's it going?
Glad you have me.
So let's get started with how did you start with EMCID and what made you decide to run originally? And this is your first term, correct?
Yes, it's my first term. Yeah, I worked for the constable's office and a couple of years before I retired, and Dale Martin passed away.
Yeah.
And so that there was a need for somebody to fill the board, so I thought that I would run for the board, and so I started going to a few meetings just to catch up on what was going on. I hadn't retired yet; I was still working, so I made some of the board meetings. Then we got shut down through COVID, and so
COVID was a nightmare.
It was. Our election was supposed to be in May also that year, and then it ended up being the general election in November.
Yeah. Changed the game completely.
It did. It really did.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually ran against you in that
election.
election.
You did. I know. First time I'd actually met you was when you ran.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think, this is going to sound really weird coming from an opponent, but I think the right guy won.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
And I work hard. I feel like giving back to the community is what I would like to do. Like I said, I retired from the constable's office here at Precinct 4 with Riley Hayden a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I still reserve there.
Cool. How long were you a constable?
I was there about 23 years.
Good. So, that's a long time. That's a whole career.
It is. And I like I said, I still reserve there. So I volunteer time to go in and ride patrol, do special functions. I'm part of the honor guard. So I still stay active in the community through that part.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're running for a second term.
Yes.
And what's your favorite thing on EMCID? I've asked every candidate this so far, and I've gotten a couple of different questions, but what is Ron Willingham like?
Well, I believe that we need positive growth in the community. That's the first thing. And by doing that, we interact with the community. We partnership with different people. We've got a great board. We've got 8 board members and 4 are up for re-election, and that's Brenda Webb and Frank Wetz and Miss Pearson and myself. So we're a close-knit group and we work well together. So, but the thing, we've got great programs. The other candidates have been on here before, and we've got we're several things that we do. My things are, I came in right after COVID, so the first thing we worked on was a convention center and trying to get it off the ground. That was my first project with the board, and so I had a philosophy when I come in that I didn't just want to go in and think I knew everything sitting on the board.
Yeah, it's tough when you get on a new board. It's like, uh-oh.
So I sat there and listened for probably almost a year. I interacted, but not to a full extent, because there were so many things to catch up on that the board had been working on for years before I got in, and then all the current stuff that we were working on forward.
Right.
So there was a learning curve there, and then once I got initiated into the group, and then I started to talk, and then we started working well together then.
And none of these projects are like day and night projects. They take a long time.
Years sometimes to get done.
So none of these decisions are made hastily.
We've worked on the convention center ever since I've been on the board now. We're in the final stages of it.
Okay.
And it's going to provide a big plus for the community. I believe the growth out here is needed for the convention center. Mm-hmm. It's going to bring in jobs. It's going to bring in revenue. It's already been projected over the first 30 years to bring in sales tax into our community of $1.73 billion over 30 years.
Man,
that money is coming mostly from outside of our community.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be people coming in for trade shows. There'll be basketball, volleyball tournaments, cheer tournaments, all kind of different things, conference center, activities. So all that money is going to be coming mostly from outside of our area into our district and provide money that goes back just to East Montgomery County taxpayers.
Right. Do you know when that project will be shovel ready?
We're hoping near the end of this year. We're in
Wow.
the final stages of the land with Signorelli and all, and the plans and all. So we should be breaking ground sometime near the end of the year.
Wow. And what about pre-bookings? Have y'all had anybody that's already interested?
Yes, we've already had companies. Most of our convention centers, they like to book every year about the same time. So a lot of the companies out of Houston, we're having some out of Houston that's interested and have started booking. That way they can lock in their week every year, the same place, and have it there every year. So yeah, we've already had a lot of inquiry about those items.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It is.
And so who will be running that? Would it be the EMCID board, or will there be another company that's made just for the convention center? Kind of like the Atrium Center?
Yeah, the board will have the final say. So there'll probably be somebody hired to oversee the running day-to-day operation of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it'll be most of the board taking care of major decisions for it or anything. But yeah, we'll have a day-to-day person running it.
Man, it's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
You guys are going to get spread out pretty thin.
Yeah, it is a chore to get all that done, I tell you.
Yeah. So, MCED's viewed as an economic development company, but really y'all do a lot more stuff besides economic development. So let's talk a little bit about the other things that MCED does. What else do you guys do?
We have the grants that we give out every year, twice a year. And those are mostly 401c. They're the mom and pop operations that help the community.
Okay.
And sometimes they need some help, churches or groups around that help the public. So
Sure.
we try to help them. I believe we spoke before, but the like ice machines, refrigerators, freezers, stuff like that for the food pantries and stuff that they don't have the funds to buy.
Yeah,
or
because
they'll
that stuff's high dollar.
Yeah, or we can match some of the funds in partnership with them on it.
Okay.
The scholarship fund, we're at $1,600 a student now. I think maybe in the future, if things keep growing, we may even can bump that up. I mean, that may be something to look into.
And that's every student that graduates in the footprint of MCED, correct?
It is. Everyone that wants the
Do you know how many kids that is on average?
I don't have an idea, but we do demographic studies. The school districts do. They do that so many years to see the growth of what they need in their community. So the Improvement District, we partnership with New Caney Independent School District and the Splendora to split the cost on doing those functions. That way we get an idea of the growth too for the Improvement District.
I bet y'all look at those numbers and go,
It's growing fast out here.
Yeah,
and,
we're
booming. People think we're booming here, but Splendora is coming.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. And I got this from the update that Matt Gray did last week, I believe it was. So according to Energy, in Montgomery County, more people had new electrical connections here than in 3 of our surrounding states combined. And that's just for Montgomery County.
Yeah, if you drive down 2090 towards the schools now, all the new subdivisions going in that way. I mean,
and they're nice too. They look good.
And you are going to be getting a Whataburger and a Popeyes. And a few places
right here in Splendora.
Right here in Splendora.
And there's a McDonald's coming.
Yeah. So people say we need restaurants, nice restaurants. Well, they'll be coming.
You got to get your fast foods out first.
Those come out first in the rural type setting in areas.
Yeah.
So that's just the first stages of getting it rolling. So.
Yeah, we've got a couple of good restaurants.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to have to drive all the way to Humble or all the way to Cleveland if you wanted to go sit somewhere.
Yeah.
And now you got choice.
Yep.
A lot of it.
So,
and there's some good restaurants out here too.
There are. And still more to come.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about voting a little bit. Now, this election is different because it's independent of the other elections, correct? This is something is it being handled by the county, or who handles this?
Yeah, the parties that like the Improvement District, they pay a certain amount to hold the election.
Okay.
And if there is a MUD or if there's another entity, then they split the cost to hold the election.
Okay. Is there anything else that's going on with this?
I believe on the ballot here, most of the local ones will be voting for appraisal district and for our run, and then I think Roman Forest has a couple of MUDs or something on their ballots on their end.
Cool. All right. Well, at least that cost got split up a little bit. Yeah. Yep. And so early voting started today, right?
Yes,
this is Monday.
8 o'clock this morning. We're at Bull Solace Park.
Wow.
And also a second location this year, we're at the Patton Village Community Center.
Okay.
Patton Village.
Okay. And that's right there on First Street, correct?
Yeah, we're having early voting there. And those dates, they start today, run through Saturday of this week, which will be 8 to 5, and then no voting Sunday. And then Monday and Tuesday are 7 to 7. And then May the 4th is the general election. Well, the election is 7 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. that evening.
Okay. Wow. Happens fast.
It does.
Yeah. So this term went by pretty quick for you, didn't it?
It did. We stayed really busy. I mean, people think that it's just a once a month go in and make a meeting. we have the industrial park that we actively try to get companies coming in there to bring better jobs to the community. The convention, all the other projects going on, the Signorelli and stuff that we help out. It's an ongoing everyday process.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm on the Montgomery County Ethics Commission, and it's a job.
It is.
I mean, it literally is a job. We meet once every 2 months, but we do a lot in between that time that just is constantly being done. And I don't think a lot of people realize or understand that too.
They don't.
Yeah.
They think it's just the one day a month and that's it.
Yeah.
And,
So what kind of annual budget does EMCID have these days? Any idea?
Yeah, I can't give you an exact number, but we're up in the $18-19 million range now on sales tax that's brought in.
Wow. And y'all just get like 1% of the sales tax, right?
And the sales tax comes in, and then we have partnerships like Signorelli and the corporation stuff that we help out with that. But yes, the majority of it's from the taxpayer, the proceeds from your dining and your shopping and things that you do in the community.
Okay.
That money,
and y'all don't get any money from property taxes?
We get no money from property tax.
Okay.
All the tax money that you spend that comes to the improvement district goes back into East Montgomery County.
Okay, cool. Well, now that we've gotten a little bit of economic development done, and I'm seeing this trend kind of change with EMCID, at least that's what I'm hearing, is that now you guys are starting to focus a little bit more on green spaces and a little bit more on beautification projects. Is there any of that you can talk about at this time? I know some stuff you can't. So.
Well, there for a long time I got a question: why don't we have a lot of green space? Where are the parks at? Mm-hmm. And so we've actively, the last few years, we purchased, we've already got 64 acres under contract. I mean, it's already purchased. We were aggressively going after another 30 acres. And there's also another 100-acre tract we're looking at. So there's a possibility of us having a 200-acre park in New Caney off of 1485 at Gene Campbell.
It's a lot of mowing.
So it's a lot of work. But the green space will be nice. It's going to be put in phases. It's like over a 5-year period. First phase will be up front, will be like a pavilion. It'll be dog park, stuff for kids, small stuff.
Great.
To expand back to the back, there should be a lake. There'll be some cabins. We can even probably, if we get the cabins can either lease those out, or we can let the Boy Scouts use them for some of their annual training and stuff.
That's cool, or both even.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're even talking about, we've got as you know, the park, it goes downhill because it's floodplain or area down there. So from the front of 1485, where we've been doing some design work and stuff, and we're talking about putting one of the, you've seen them before, like a expandable, they're a walkway that's actually hung in the trees. It floats, you walk across it.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to walk across that bridge and look down at the canopy and the stuff underneath it and stuff. So there's a lot of good things coming out there.
Well, that sounds cool. Yeah. And that's right, Gene Campbell in 1485, right?
It's where the old crushed concrete, where our sign is for the Improvement District Board there on the right. I mean, for the industrial park.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Okay. Let's talk about the industrial park a little bit.
Okay.
So, and I had got to be honest with you, last time I was out there, the only thing out there was the Walmart distribution center. That's how many years it's been. I just don't make it out that way very often. So what all is out there now? I mean, do you got to go back there to see it, or is it viewable?
We've got multiple buildings back there. I mean, we've got the Lowe's distribution center is over 1 million square feet. It's located behind the Walmart distribution center.
And that's the largest building in Montgomery County.
Yes,
wow.
It is. And there's plans for more out there behind it. We also signed a deal for a paper company to come in from Mexico. Okay. And that's going to be a big project. It's going to put a lot of value out here in our area.
Right, but it's not milling, right?
No, it's going to be. It's the toilet. They produce the toilet paper and stuff like that, and until some of the production lines.
Thank God, because during COVID we ran out of toilet paper,
and we did. And
so maybe that won't happen.
And we do travel some to these places to check them out. Like I said, we want to be proactive. What we bring to the community, we want to be able to put eyes on. See how it runs, see their production, make sure that we're bringing a good quality product into our industrial park out here. Okay. We don't want things that pollute and bad things for the community.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we do our homework on all that, those projects that are coming in too.
Okay, fantastic. So anything else huge coming out this way that you can discuss, or besides the convention center and the
convention center is probably the biggest. We're to the point now where over the years we've had our the Christmas to Remember and our Halloween at the old Sam's building.
Right.
And that's no longer maybe going to be feasible because other people are starting to lease out that space.
Okay.
So we're hoping that we get to use it this Christmas because this will be 2 Christmases before the convention center is completed. Mm-hmm. Once that's completed, we'll be able to hold all those functions within that building.
Wow. So how long will it take? 2 or 3 years to build the convention
I
center?
think
you're thinking?
it's projected maybe a year and a half, maybe from start to end to completion.
Wow.
An year or two. So, yeah, we're hoping we can get in by the following Christmas and be there to be able to set up
Yeah.
for our.
I've
all
seen
that
the model
remember.
that y'all have at the office.
Yes.
That's a nice looking building.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty cool. Can't really imagine what it would look like inside because I think the top comes off where you can
Right.
see it, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I've just seen it with the top on.
Yeah,
So.
there'll be some retractable seating inside
Okay.
that we could bring out of the walls for graduations and stuff like that to be held inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the New Caney, I think it was a few years ago, New Caney and Splendora both had graduations on their football field and it poured down rain for their graduation. So, you know, things like that could be held there at the convention center.
Okay. And I know you guys were even doing some minor environmental projects because I know you recently partnered with Matt Gray on the splash pad out at Bull Silas Park,
Mhm.
which I couldn't believe that thing just had water running in and water running out.
Yeah.
And so now they're going to have recirculating pumps, a lot like swimming pools and treatment and all that. And that's going to be great.
Yeah,
So there'll still be some loss due to evaporation,
there'll be some,
but nothing like it
We
was.
tried when it was first put in to do that to it, and it didn't work out. You know, with the commissioner and all through back then. So now we've decided that is such a great loss to the community with water. So that's
water's
something
a
we
big deal.
project with them to do.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. You know, and that's a good little beginning to an environmental project for
Yep.
EMCID. You'll have anything else going on like that? Any more environmental stuff?
Well, you know, as Ms. Pearson talked to you about, she's really pro Splendora. She lives in Splendora.
Yeah.
I live in Porter, but I have a big deal. Like I said, I took over for Dale out here, so I promised a lot of people when I voted that I would help. And we're looking at green space areas out here. So once we get that
Okay.
park started in New Caney, we're looking to do something in the Splendora area on the same
Cool.
footprint.
Yeah. And I know y'all assisted with a lot of stuff at the park that we have now.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so that's been great.
Yeah, we contribute just even for the FFA. I mean, for the rodeos and stuff like that. We help out there. We put 10% in added to the sales price on the animals when they have the rodeo here.
Yeah, that's great.
So there's just things that we give back to the community to help out the kids and all. I mean, the kids are what the community's about.
Sure.
I mean, we help them out there, and like I said, with the school, you know, being able to go to college with the funds and help out. That's our future is our kids.
There you go. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, you're running for re-election. I'm the average guy. I don't know a whole lot about Ron Willingham. Where would I go? Do you have a website or Facebook page or any of that?
Ronald Willingham, EMCID for position 3. It's on the improvement district. It'll come up. Yeah, I just I feel like that I haven't completed. I've just gotten started. We've got a lot of big projects that we're working on that we'd like to see get completed. And like I said, I'm all about serving the public. That's what I'm retired now, but that's what I want to do.
So now you're actually busy.
Yeah, I'm actually busy. I really am.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why you ever had time to work. How did I work this out before?
I know.
Yeah. Well, Ron, I appreciate you coming in, man. Had a good time.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for everything. And you can see Ron Willingham at the polls. You're kind of working the polls.
I will be out there today at the Silas Park. Come out and see me. Vote.
There you go. So if you've got any questions, walk up, shake his hand, ask the man. He's a good guy. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. It's important for us to be intelligent voters. So these videos are designed to help you guys make a decision and make the right decision. So go out and vote, get it done, be a part of a good, active, growing, popular, wonderful community that is Montgomery County. And we'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.